I have a fan going in the background, but it's very cold here. So that's my heater. Today I have a vise to install. workbench. So I think I'm just gonna get started. I got some new hardware. And then the instructions are up on the page there too. Got some tea to finish here. Alright, so this is my vise hardware. It's really dirty, so I'm probably going to wipe it down before I start working on this. But this hardware is about I think it's $40 plus tax and shipping, which makes it super cheap compared to some of the other hardware that's out there. The only cheaper option would be going to the hardware store and just buying a threaded rod and a nut and making your own handle. But I really liked the idea of these twisty ones. Figured that it would allow me to get extra pressure onto this. So we're gonna go through the instructions quick. It's kind of like a set of advice, and then we're going to clean the hardware, cut and plane some boards to fit on the front of this bench, and then we'll do the rest of the installation. So hopefully this is visible enough. It has a short history on the Moxon vise, as well as a picture on what it should look like. Most of the time people put these on as an attachment that's easily removable. But I'm just going to put it straight on this bench because it's not my main bench. It's not my main woodworking bench, although it will be for a while, but I intend to build a nice woodworking bench at some point here. So page 1 considers size considerations. We need 2 pieces of wood with a front movable jaw. The rear vise should be about 1.5 inches thick, and the front should also be about 1.5 inches. And a thinner jaw would work for narrower vices. So we're just going to use 2x4s to keep it simple, and I'll make them, plane them straight, and maybe put some chamfers on the corners if I'm feeling like it. It says this can be made into a parallel jaw, which you would need some extra hardware to do, and it's the point of this vise is to keep it so it's not straight. The point of this vise is to have these 2 screws so you can put odd-shaped pieces in, at least for me. So that's kind of demonstrated in this picture. To have it move a little bit. And then if you want it to be parallel, you could just put a block in on the other side, and it would be somewhat parallel. And it shows how to drill into your wood to make it so that it will act as a parallel vise, or a tilting vise. And it shows how to attach the hardware, which isn't really a problem. The directions are fairly straightforward. If anyone wants these, if you're watching afterwards, I'll be happy to share them with you. And then it shows different inlay options for the nuts on the other side. So it says on here the hardware is coated in an oil that inhibits rust, and it can be removed with denatured alcohol. So I do have some denatured alcohol, and I probably will try to remove it with that. So again, I can put this, if anyone wants this, I can give it to them. But this is what we're going to try to accomplish today as a fixed option so that it will be not removable. I'm going to go grab the denatured alcohol and we'll start cleaning up these hardware bits. This denatured alcohol is also used as stove fuel, so very flammable. We'll have to not be crazy with that. Grab some rags. This would be fine if I didn't clean it. But I would like to, in the future, paint at least the screw portion, the hand screw portion. So it at least has to come off of that. not so much worried about getting the oil off the screw itself, because it's probably good to have a little bit of oil on it. Well, first of all, you can't paint it if there's any sort of oil on it. The oil would prevent it from sticking. And secondly, the dirt would also prevent any sort of paint from sticking. So you kind of almost have to have a bare surface without anything on it. And I might even have to sand it to make sure it can take paint. Otherwise, it's just going to fall off. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it would pretty much just be for looks. It would prevent rust a little bit, but it's not like anything's going to get covered in water or anything in the garage. We get a lot of humidity, so that's something to consider, I guess. But plus, I don't really know what kind of oil they used, and it was really, really dirty, so I feel like there's just all kinds of filings in it, which I don't think having metal filings embedded in the oil is really going to prevent rust. It's probably only the opposite. I bought it online. I think it was Taylor's Tool Works or something like that. Just a tool company. One of the cheapest places you can get them. Because if you buy it from a legit woodworking company, it costs like at least $100, probably $150 for the same setup. The only cheaper option would be go to the local home improvement store and just buy one of these screws. You can get these at any home improvement store, and then to use a nut and then attach something onto the nut as a handle. That would be the cheaper option, but I really liked the look of these metal knobs. For $50 even, that's not so bad. I think Taylor is a pretty reputable tool company as well. Green tea does not taste good when you have alcohol fumes in the air. So yeah, I'm not like cleaning these super well where all of the oil is going to come off, but it's at least going to look and be cleaner. And I think that's important. Last year we did. I'm probably going to leave a note on the door saying no candy. To be honest. We had in the paper there's like some neighbor that's pretty close to us that they said, come to our haunted house this year. There'll be cameras for your security, but masks will not be enforced. And I'm just thinking, that's so, like, that's wrong. Care about your security, but not about your health. I don't know. No, we will not be doing anything for Halloween unless it's online. If anyone rings our doorbell, I'll probably... I don't know, I probably won't answer, but... Especially considering today there were 32 deaths in our state, and it went well over 2,000 new cases. You're booing? I don't know what you mean by booing, but it sounds like you're just paying them off. Yeah, we have pretty good neighbors too, so. Yeah, I don't know. I really like our neighborhood. We have neighbors that are pretty darn considerate. We appreciate that. Yeah. I'll get you a shot. How does that look? Oh, it's a little off. Yeah, I got some wheels on it. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see. I'll find a better view here. Can't really see what I'm aiming at. All right, that's a little better. But yeah, you can see the wheels on it. They're they just pop up. So I step on each corner, and it pops up a little bit, and then I can wheel it around anywhere I want. And it's not anything special, but it's solid. I can stand on it, I can stack on it, I can pound on it, and I'm going to put this vise in so I can do all of the above a little easier. Alright, so that's not perfect, but it's a little bit cleaner. And I'll probably have to clean up these screws again to get a little more of the oil and grime off. But that should work just fine for now. The next step, let these kind of dry out a bit. I have a 2x4 that I would like to use. So I have to get out the planer. We can get a good camera shot on it. They have the cordage needed for it. There you can kind of see it. I don't know how well you can hear the my audio. I still have the heater's on full blast, and I'm not about to shut it off. Good. Definitely got to work on a different camera setup, but this should allow you to see what I'm doing. I just got this 2x4. I'm gonna make it flat, cut it in half, and it will go on the front of my workbench as a vise. This will get loud because my planer blades are super dull at the moment. I could show you how to sharpen them, but that just takes a long time, and there's a lot of setup. I'm not going to do that today. Talking about the planer or the saw? My table saw or this planer? Because it doesn't really cut anything, it just flattens boards. I got this one for $50 used. It's really old and it's not very good. But a new one can cost new one can cost as much as you'd like. This is just a 6-inch planer. You could probably get a crappy one for $150, or you can get a good one for maybe $300-400. But if you got if you got much bigger than a 6-inch, which most people buy, they don't really see the 6 as super useful. Thousands of dollars you could spend on a wider planer. But for just planing 2x4s, this is all you really need. And like I said, I paid $50 for an old cast iron Craftsman planer. Kind of see how it changes a little bit. Danger. Danger, how you doing? Give you a little shout out here. Oh, I can't. This thing doesn't let me log in. I'll give you a verbal shout out, man. Danger Engaged is a streamer. He does farm simulator. He's really great, and he's a nice guy. So thanks for stopping in, Mark. Drizzt, a planer is somewhat like a sander, but it uses blades to cut and make it flat. You're welcome, Danger. I appreciate you coming in. Yeah, I mean, a sander can make things flat, but if you're using a hand sander, it's never going to be flat. It's going to conform to what you're making, essentially. It's going to conform to the sander. So there are sanders that flatten like a planer. They're usually called like barrel or drum sanders. And then they would take they would sand across the whole face of the board and make it level and even. And this just uses blades to do that. It has like a spinning drum with blades on it. And then one surface is higher than the other. And then when you put it across, it just slides onto the higher surface because it cut it off. I'm not sure if I'm explaining that very well. Yeah, I mean, you could make a router do planing tasks for sure. You just have that spinning blade, and then you would put a board up next to the spinning blade, and it would just take it off at perfectly even. There's just so many different kinds of planers and routers and sanders. Basically what we're doing here is flattening a board. So there's many ways to do that. And even you have a hand planer here. This is what we're essentially doing. We're using a machine to make a flat surface. And we could also use this machine to make a flat surface, but we do it manually. It takes a lot longer. And then you have to use some kind of a reference to make sure you're actually flat. This is a 2x4, and I don't really care what's happening to it, so I'm using my dull planer to save time. That is what's going on. We could also use a router. I have a little router table I made in the corner over here. That's my router table. And we just set up a fence so one end is higher than the other, and that the blade is in line with the higher part. So you're essentially flattening a board. It just takes a lot of setup, and this is already set up. And this will actually, if I take you in closer here, shouldn't do this, but shouldn't be touching this. But you can see the blade that spins. And then there's two cast iron surfaces. That's how you flatten the board. So hopefully that answers any questions there. And I'm just gonna keep flattening my board. My heater stopped, and because it was really warm, now it's immediately becoming cold again. That's what happens when you don't keep the garage hot all the time. Only keep it on when you're doing work. So now I've treated this on all four sides. It would be prudent now to check if it was actually flat. And you can see, maybe you can see. I guess I don't know if you can see it. There's it's not perfectly flat. I have what's called tear out. This happens when your blades are dull and you're going against the grain. Otherwise, this would be super smooth. It would be like a baby's bottom. So I really need to sharpen my blades, and it would help if I put this in going the right way. Softwood is also notorious for tear out. It has a totally different grain pattern than hardwood. So we're gonna separate this in two. So you can get some good camera views here. Well, hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. We're just going to use a tape measure and find as close to center as we can. This is almost 38. Just going to cut this at about 19 and a half. This planer I got for $50 just came from somebody I know who wanted it to go to somewhere where it was going to be used. It actually has kind of an interesting story. Someone I worked with, I should have cut this at 18 and a half. Someone I used to work with used to have a nice shop. And he had to get rid of it. There was a divorce. And he sold it to a friend for, I believe, $50. And the guy never used it. So he sold it to me for $50. Definitely not doing something right here. Need to learn how to do math. We're kind of right in between Your Way and the Oakdale. Yeah, Home Depot's garbage. I hate it. Unless you need something like a rigid tool is okay, but I really dislike Home Depot. And I really dislike Menards too, but they're cheaper and they have more things. But I'm halfway between Your Way and the one in Oakdale. But your Menards has quite a bit more things going on. Alright, so I'm just going to cut this. My argument to that would be not a single hardware store, not a single big box hardware store knows what they're talking about at all. If you think anyone at Menards knows more than anyone at Lowe's, they don't. They really do not. But I like Lowe's better because they sell better products, for sure, bar none. They have Delta, they have Husqvarna, they have Toro, they have like really good brands, and they sell better products 100%. So I cut these in half, and then I cut them again. I cut them in half once, and then I buttoned them up so they were perfectly even on one end, and then I cut the other end. So now they are as close as possible to being the exact same size. And they really don't have to be the same size. This is just kind of out of habit. I could easily just plane them to be the same size. But, so now we're gonna put them on here. Can't really see that. Hopefully you can see that. Another camera here. Just gonna put them on here so that they're perfectly even with the top of the bench. Sure, I can make this a little better. Gross. Yeah, it'll be strong enough to pop just about anything, I think. Guy's head, guy's nuts. Just about anything a guy has, I think it would pop. Alright. So, I'm gonna figure out what to make sure I'm using the right bit size. Drill fits through 3/4 inch holes. So I have this bit. I got these Forstner bits from Menards. It was $5 for a whole set of Forstner bits. And these are almost designed like router bits. They're meant to cut going backwards, forwards, and they're even like, it's got some like side to side ability, I guess. And for $5, they're probably not going to last very long. But for $5, they were worth giving a try. And they've actually worked pretty well. So I'm just gonna make sure, checking the instructions, to see what they recommend as being the proper widths for any of this stuff. 2 3/8 in from each end of the vertical center. I'm just gonna go 2 1/4. I don't know why they need to be 3/8 exactly. So then you go 1/4 inch to each side of your mark. So now we're making the, I don't know if anyone can see this, but we're gonna drill 2 holes in this so that it can move. Ooh, yeah. Easy Max, good. Yeah. I'm down to play Counter-Strike. Get some dinks. I'm pretty garbage at Counter-Strike, but I do like that game. So I think because this involves movement, it's not super important to get the exact... It's meant to move. It doesn't really matter if you get the exact spot. But on the other hand, it is important to get the exact spot on the other boards. So we're trying to get exact center on these boards. What I'm going to do is measure at 2 inches, and then come back and measure at 2 inches the other way. Now I can see that's pretty close. Go 2 1/4 that way. What did I just say? 1.75. 1.75. So that's hard to see, but I just measured this on both sides. I went 2 first of all, 2 inches, and I got these 2 marks. And that was too much. So I did 1.75, and then I got 2 marks that are super close to each other. And then you can tell the center super easy. You can eyeball it from there because you're very close. Alright, since I want these to be perfectly straight, at least on these boards, we're going to use the drill press. I have a small drill press that I've been using. It works pretty okay. This is another thing I got as a hand-me-down. I think I bought this for $10. It's also very, very old. Not necessarily in good condition. Make sure I'm logged in so I can do any admin mod stuff if I need to. Now I can actually do a shout out if I need to do it. There's so many benefits to having new tools. One of them is that the setup for when you decide to switch heights or thicknesses is always easier on new tools. It's really nice to have something that just adjusts really easy, but it also has a cost trade-off, and that usually aren't built as nice as the old tools. Like, for instance, the planer I have over in the corner is all cast iron. So in order to knock it out of position, it takes a lot more than on a new tool. They come out of position much easier, which is a benefit because they come out of position so you can readjust easier, and a detriment because they come out of place when you don't mean them to come out of place. Before I cut this, I need to take a quick bathroom break. So we're just going to do that real quick. Give you a better view here. I'll be right back. Thank you for waiting. Okay. So, try and get you in nice and close so you can see what's going on. I'm going to tighten down the screw. And we're not aiming for perfection here. We're just trying to make something that's going to be useful for our other projects. So all I do, because this has a point on the tip of it, the drill bit does, we just line that point up as close as we can to the center where we want to drill. And because we made good marks, we know we're going to get really close to the center. Then I kind of hold this down so it's not going to move. And start drilling. All the way through there. I'll line it up again. Let me turn it back on. Make sure it's clamped with your hands. We still didn't get all the way through. But I did notice this was slipping a bit, so I'm going to tighten it a little more. I think you might consider what I'm doing a little bit dangerous because this could slip out of position pretty easily. Usually these things should be clamped. got to do the other side. All right, so we have two sides that are elongated. We'll have to draw a line and make them straight, and then this piece will rock back and forth on the vise screws. We're gonna make another piece that is more exact. All right. Thank you, Barn Recluse. Hey, buddy. Yeah, I had you on in the background the whole time, so I was listening to your whole stream. Hi, Doc Barbecue. How are you? Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm glad you didn't talk shit. I'm good. Well, that's good. I'm good too. I'm just putting a vise on my new workbench today. It's nothing pretty, it's nothing special. I'm just trying to make it a little bit easier to do some projects that I want to do this winter, since it's going to be a long winter, clearly. But I intend to stream all my home DIY projects. That's my goal. It looks like you like barbecue, man. Are you a barbecuer, or do you just like barbecue? I didn't die. In fact, I didn't even get hurt. That's the goal, right? I mean, like, if you didn't die, it's probably a good day. If you didn't get hurt, it's an even better. I mean, like, yeah, that's the goal. He's a barbecue master. Oh, man, I am a pretty big barbecue fan myself. In fact, I guess I probably don't have any pictures. I do have a barbecue. I have my grill on here somewhere. Oh, a salty dog. Hey, man. I'm making a vise to go on my... I'm doing a vise for my new workbench. And Doc Barbecue's in here. And I just wanted to show him my grill. Yeah, so I'm just getting some basics done in my garage so I can start doing my woodworking projects. Yeah, dude, the ceramic is really nice. And then I got a barbecue grill to go on the side of it. That just like monitors the airflow and makes sure you have the right temperature all the time. It has a little fan that blows in the bottom. Oh, it almost takes the fun out of it because you don't really have to worry about it. Yeah, that's my thing. The Moxon vise is what I'm making. I have a picture here. This is kind of what it's supposed to look like. If anyone was wondering, you can see that at all. Usually they are a separate piece that you clamp onto the workbench, so it's not in the way all the time. But this one's just going to be attached. And my fan just kicked on. Hopefully it's not too loud. My heater is going. But yeah, so I'm just going to keep going. The first part of the vise, I drilled the holes. Two right next to each other. This one is supposed to wobble. This is the outer board, so it's supposed to wobble. So if you have an awkward piece to clamp in the middle, you can it'll kind of conform to what you're clamping, which is why these vices are so good. You can clamp just about anything. So I'm making the back piece, and so I'm just going to drill a couple holes here, and then we'll get to it. The next part is basically attaching the hardware. So here we go, a little bit of noise here. nothing wrong with old school. I just don't, I got so many darn projects. I don't always have the time to watch the fire. So I rely on technology to help me out there. Not a single darn thing wrong with old school. Get pretty crazy when it involves wood and stuff, like what kind of wood you're using. I don't know, what's your favorite wood to smoke with? Or are you a variable man of sorts? Particular to using applewood. Oh yeah. Yep, drinking a beer, smelling the beautiful smells. There's nothing better. Cherry would be nice. I haven't yet to smoke with cherry. I'm primarily applewood when I'm smoking. Mostly because I don't do beef. My girlfriend can't eat beef, so we stick to pork and chicken. I've also a smoked cheese. I have like a cold smoke attachment. It's not really an attachment. It's something that just fits in the... It's like a cold smoke tray or something like that. Keep it under 140 or something like that. Just apply the smoke. Yeah, I'm a big food and drink person. I primarily only follow food and or watch on my own terms food and drink streamers. Which is probably detriment to me because it doesn't really get my own stream attention, but we like what we like. Yeah, dude. Working out in the barn is good for you. Oh, gives it a little more red, huh? I guess I never thought it would give it color, but that's a good tip. So I'm just gonna use a chisel to make this, give you guys a better view. Using a chisel to make this a square, I guess. It's probably not the right term. We're making it an oval. So that the screw can fit perfectly in the middle. Do you stream barbecue, or you just have a barbecue name? Because you're awesome. Barbecue streams are kind of fun. Every once in a while, Chef will do that. Mortise and drill chisels? Oh, yeah. Yeah, the mortise, the chisel. They're tenon makers or whatever. They just attach to a drill press, pretty much. They actually have like a whole bunch of different big machines that do that. Not very good at technology, huh? Well, you know how that is. At least it seems like I do. But, yeah, I would love to try some beef sometime. I think, I don't know. Beef is so expensive, too. It's like... yeah, what are you gonna do? It took me like over an hour to get my cameras working today. They did not want to cooperate. I had to restart my computer like 5 times. But we got it up. I don't know what I have to do to make them run easier. Maybe start using a different OBS, because Streamlabs is pretty much garbage. Good exercise, man. Something. Alright, this isn't perfect, but considering I am making this out of 2x4s, I'm fine. There we go. That's a nice. Maybe a little too loose, but that's fine. I'll go through my single hole, easy, nice. Alright. So now these will be set up. this. Give you a better view here. So my screws come in. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. A bar? Man, that sounds nice. Especially like, I don't know, just a lounge where you can relax in. But I don't know why you need to wait for COVID to be over. It might never be over. So now you can see how this kind of goes back and forth here. The front piece will wobble to fit whatever you put in it. So that's one of the benefits to this vise. I'm going to screw this exactly where I want it, which is about right there. And then we'll take the 3/4 inch drill bit and drill it through the table. Okay. Yeah. True barbecue. Yeah. I don't know. Everyone thinks they know what true barbecue is, but do they really know? Pretty sure barbecue is what you want it to be. I watched one of David Chang's shows where he talks about, I think the whole thing is about barbecue. And he goes to Japan. Japan barbecue is like, I want to say it's like hibachi. There's different barbecues all over the world. So to say true barbecue, it's really just a regional thing. I guess English language is part of that as well. Okay, so I wanted this to fit flush onto this, but if I make it flush, I can't really drill into make the screw go all the way into the side, because it drills into directly where the tabletop meets the 2x4. So that's something I overlooked. Oh yeah, Texas is the beef king, for sure. But you know what? I've had really good chicken in Texas too, so. Okay, I gotta figure out how I want to do this. I could always glue onto this. I think I might just have to do that. Glue onto it. There's no other way I'm gonna make it look nice. So what I think I'm gonna do is put one of these on the other side of it. Now, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna make this lower. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put it lower so it's not flush. Get it on there correctly, and then I'll take these off again. And then I'm gonna glue on a piece to make it longer. I think that's what I'm gonna do. It doesn't even have to be center, it just has to be enough to grip into. Yeah, thanks for coming by, man. Thanks, Barn Recluse, for raiding. Not used to having a lot of people around, so it's good to have somebody. Stop by again sometime. It'd be nice to talk about barbecue some more. I'm a fan. Cool. I gotta get onto that and play sometime. Although it's been more and more difficult to find times to play now. Anything. I don't know if this is the right way to do this, but it's the way that it's going to happen. Couldn't feel your fingers. Yeah. Yeah, don't worry, man. Do what you gotta do. Thank you for raiding. Thanks for coming here. Yeah, I might have to do some winter barbecue. We're up in Minnesota, so it's pretty cold now. But I've been trying to plan some winter barbecue stuff. I think I do have some cherry somewhere too. I do not play D&D, but I would like to play D&D. I mean, I've been a role-playing game fan for a very long time. And I like watching D&D. And I've listened to a lot of like Adventure Zone podcasts. So I really like that stuff. It'd be nice to get into it myself. Oh yeah? Well, I'd get into it sometime for sure. I don't know if I have the time to commit to it exactly. Because like, stuff is crazy now. I'm always working but I could be easily convinced. There's not exactly a rhyme or reason to how I'm doing this, but it should work just fine. Oh no, that was the wrong hole. Okay. No problem. Yeah, talk to you later. Thank you. Yeah, we'll have to get something going sometime. I'd probably need a good introductory thing. I'm not even showing you, are I? This is what I'm doing. Gosh. Call myself a streamer. general gist of it. Hey, bud. So here's a rough, very rough guide to what this is. And I'll have to tweak it a lot, especially because it's not flush with the countertop. But it functions as a vise just like this. Oh, no need to be jelly. This was easy. You could have one. Yeah. For sure. Though I did put this table on casters, so. Oh, I can show you that. See my casters here? Just flip down. Put it up. Oof. I gotta do each corner individually, but this whole table is on casters. Oh, it's hard to, they're not super easy to flip though. Maybe it just takes time to it's not your own game. People have been doing casters like that for a long time. It doesn't take much to do a Google search. But I'm sure yours will be awesome as well. Alright, this is pretty good. What I'm going to do here is take these pieces off, glue a strip onto the top so that they are completely flush. I'll make them a little bit bigger and then plane them so they are perfectly flush with the top of the workbench. Then it'll be easy to do dovetails. Just everything will be easier. So that's my plan there. And then this is currently perfectly functioning. The only thing I might do is recess the nuts into the back of this piece so that I will be able to, I'll have like an extra inch to work with here. This is pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, different pads, yeah. I was going to put, actually the company that sells this hardware sells leather to put as a pad, which is fine. But it costs like, I don't know, it was like $12 for a strip of leather. And I'm pretty sure I have some materials around here somewhere that would be good. I just gotta find them. It's a piece of some kind of thick fabric, or I got something around here that will work well. I think I have some cork somewhere that would work well, I think. I'll probably end it there. I'll do the tweaking off camera, I think. And like again, the benefit of this thing is it goes from side to side. You can put any kind of weird shape in there. It's gonna clamp it. Yeah. My only concern with cork is I think it's less durable than leather, but I think it looks nicer. And I think I got some other kind of stuff around here that would work well too. I just gotta look for it. Yeah, I don't know what else I've been working on. I don't know if you saw. Cork costs less than leather, does it? So, last time I was working on this Tortilla Press. This is where this is the progress I've made on the Tortilla Press. I've got the handle set. Just goes. I have to attach it. And I've got to put some kind of a stop block here. That's okay. This is as far as I am. And I want to do a little bit of math to make sure this is going to work a little better. But I don't know, I'm pretty happy with what I got. This is just a prototype as well. Try and make it out of some nice hardwood materials when I decide on a final product. And the handle should be a little bit longer to get more leverage. Yeah, I didn't route it, but I recessed it with a chisel. So they're flush. And I might even make them a little more flush. Because the thickness is what we got to make sure that that's what I really wanted to research, to make sure that it's the proper thickness. So right now it looks a little thick, so we might take out a little bit more on the hinges so that we're perfectly in line. And then I would like to put some kind of spacer in here so we're always going to have the same thickness for our tortillas. So I was going to look at what the proper thickness is, get a stop block that's going to fit. And then I would attach the handle, and then I would attach a block on the outside here so that we're having enough clearance. And that's essentially where I'm at with that. Yeah, I mean, this is just my prototype, so it's just what I had lying around. So I'd definitely buy better hinges for my finished model. Yeah, and I don't think, the block I put this on is really beefy. I don't think it needs to be that beefy either. Like I made a block out of two 2x4s. Yeah, for sure. I think, yeah. But we'll see how this one works. I don't even know how to make tortillas yet, so that's another issue. Like, I gotta learn how to make a tortilla. And I don't think that's super easy either. Yeah, I don't know. I just saw the other plans I've seen online have a block there, just because I think it not only as a finger blocker, but it also like provides more pressure. Yeah, the goal is to do corn. I'm sure a flour is much easier than a corn, but I don't know. I like corn tortillas a lot better. Corn is my jam. Yeah, so that's my progress there. Is it? But you have to like treat the you have to like get specialty ingredients and treat the matzah. If you're gonna start straight from corn, it's like you have to nixtamalize it, which I would be interested in trying. I don't know. Let's see. But I don't know. Is there anyone on that I should raid? Try and get a little bit of visibility. Bonsai. I don't know if she even has alerts for one person. My computer seems to be working much better today. I don't know what the deal is. Yeah. I definitely wanted to try and make it from scratch. But maybe not. I don't know. Dude, it's weird how stuff just changes so easily. Like, what the heck? Like, my last stream, this stuff was barely functioning. And now it's fine today. I don't know what the deal is. Tried to use the raid command in Bonsai Baby's stream. I don't have. Why am I in this? Oh. All right, that should be working. Alright, maybe she wants to say hi. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just Streamlabs, but my computer is kind of crappy and whatever. But we'll take us over there, see what she's up to. I got my vise mostly working, so that was my goal for today, and now I'm gonna go make some food. I'm hungry. So, thank you for raiding me, Barn Recluse. Have an excellent day. We'll see you later, I'm sure. See ya. Thanks again.